I just went and saw Hotel Artemis, and I enjoyed this film immensely. If you don't know, the general premise of this film is that Jodie Foster's character, the nurse, runs a hospital for criminals in LA in the future. It's 2028, I believe, is when it's set. You don't really know much about the world except that water has been privatized and they cut off the water to LA, so there's some sort of big riot happening. The state of the world doesn't really matter. It's futuristic. There's a lot of futuristic technology. Nanotech has become a big thing. But since all of the action and drama centers around the hotel itself, what's happening in the outside world doesn't necessarily matter. And she runs this hospital with her orderly, Everest, who's played by Dave Bautista, and people come in, so they get code names. There's Nice, Acapulco, Honolulu, and Waikiki, and Niagara. Yeah, and they are set up in these rooms of the Hotel Artemis, and it's basically her job to care for these criminals, and they have a set of rules, and the rules include things like you have to be a member to get in. You cannot hurt or kill the other patients. And this is about a night when all the rules get broken. There's going to be spoilers coming up, so if you haven't seen this film and you want to see just a fun, rompy action film, I suggest you check it out and then come back to me. So, spoilers abound from this moment on. This film is pretty cliche and overall predictable, but that didn't make it less enjoyable. I've started to realize the more I do reviews that part of the things that frustrate me and make me give a film a lower score is if I see unrealized potential, something that could be great that they just didn't grasp at, and that, for whatever reason, upsets me more than a film actually being bad. This film, I thought, realized its potential, and it was beautifully done. I really liked the setting and the way the world was drawn. And they had interesting characters, like Jodie Foster's nurse was really fascinating. So they made Jodie Foster look a lot older. I liked the way she carried herself, and she had this sort of shuffle walk that I really enjoyed. And I liked the way that Sterling K. Brown's character, Waikiki, how he interacted with everything. And you got a lot about his character and his motivations and what he was like just through a few interactions. I also enjoyed that these characters had history with each other, like Waikiki and Nice, who's Sofia Botella's character, and how you could tell that they had a storied history and all this kind of stuff through a few conversations without me needing to actually know what went down. And you could feel the same history between the nurse and Niagara. And so that was really cool too. And I thought that they wove that in really well. And overall, I just enjoyed the story. Jeff Goldblum was fantastic as Niagara, and just really, really funny. Zachary Quinto had a fun, kind of crazy character that I enjoyed. There was some good action sequences, and there was also some heart. And I liked sort of the mixture and mashup of everything. There were moments that I wish this film could give me a little bit more, but what it gave me was sufficient. And it's kind of cool because it's built in this way that I felt that the story was contained enough that there was nothing that I didn't have the answer to, that I really wanted the answer to, but there was enough in this world that if something else happened in this universe, I would be intrigued by learning either the past as Hotel Artemis came to be, which is hinted to, or the future as the world continues on and where these characters end up. So overall, I really enjoyed that. The other thing that this film cemented for me is that I just like Sofia Boutella. I could watch her in most anything. She's so awesome. And she is just phenomenal in this film as an assassin, and the way that she moves, her action sequences are great, and then also the sort of smoothness of her character and the way that she calmly delivers her lines, the way that she calmly interacts when all these other people are crazy. And I really like her, and she's a cool action star, and I want to see her in a lot more stuff. Like, she has potential to be like a hardcore action star, and I would be really, really into that. Reminds me sort of the Resident Evil feeling of all of those early films. Overall, I really enjoyed this film. I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5 stars because it was really fun. It had some good action sequences, it had some good story, and it wrapped itself pretty nicely in a little bow. Plus, the setting was great. And I really liked that they made Jodie Foster older. Realized that's sort of strange, and they could have just cast an older actress, which I sort of wish they'd done. But even though she was old, it was very clear that she held the power basically all the time. And I really liked that everyone sort of bowed to her because of who she was. And it wasn't that she was an evil, crazy criminal. It was that she was the one who was taking care of everyone, and she kept the rules, and she kept people safe, and she healed people, and that gave her the power. And I did sort of like that. So check out the film if you enjoy action and don't mind a bit of gore, or if you like me and like Sofia Boutella, or if you like Jeff Goldblum, because he plays a fun little bit in this particular film. And let me know in the comments if you've seen it and what you thought, and I'll see you tomorrow.